Good.
Hello, fancy people. Welcome to another episode of the Nerd Edification Hour. I'm your host, Caleb, and I have these two goobers, Rachel and Jeremy, with here. We'll have your Nintendo news and your nerd vocab. Wait a minute.
Well, hold on a
Wait a
second.
minute.
What year is it?
You're having flashbacks.
Where am I?
Wrong show.
Who am I?
This is actually episode 57 of the Zenspath 4-Button Podcast.
What?
And I'm your host, Jeremy Powers. And I'm being joined by Caleb and Rachel. How are you guys doing?
I forgot what year it was.
It's 2022.
I can't believe
So
it's
Happy New Year to all of
2022.
Yeah, no, it's terrifying.
It is.
Oh,
Happy third year into our 2-month lockdown, everyone.
yeah. I have to verify, but someone said according to like the old Doom, 2022 was the year that he went to hell to fight. And I was like, great. That's all we need to look forward to.
I think that was Skeletor on Twitter.
If we're all saved by Doom Guy, though, that's fine. That's fine.
I'm okay with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
He is.
This is the year we all go to Mars. And we open up a demon portal. I'm like, hey, they're trying to get to Mars.
Is that what
so
Musk is trying to do? He's
Is
trying to
that his
understand
endgame?
Doom. Oh no.
We figured you out.
Just I'm gonna go be friends with the super silent guy who's like real buff and he just likes to murder things.
Does he not talk much? He likes guns. Yeah, I'm with that guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, the three of us used to do a show back at the Gulf Coast radio station called the Nerd Edification Hour that Caleb hosted. Rachel was on, and I also would just kind of jump in on occasion. And yeah,
You
so
became part of the show, so
yeah, I did basically. Oh man, so I guess we'll start off with what we've been playing. Rachel, since you are the newest member to come back for this show, why don't you let us know what you've been up to?
Well, I mean, since The Witcher Season 2 came out, which I have not finished yet, I'm going through it very slowly and appreciating it.
I'm starting it after the show tonight, so.
Oh yeah, and but it's kind of sparked up my. I'm going to see if I need to. I'm going to move my microphone closer so I actually sound a little louder. I don't know if I'm loud enough or not. I do talk loud. Oh, good. Anyway, but I've started up the Witcher games again from the beginning, even though the first game is it's a little rough. It's a little rough.
That first game.
I tried the first game and it was.
I mean, the music is very good. The voice acting is honestly probably the best part about it. But just some of the animations and just.
I would almost say like Witcher 1, unless you're really a completionist, go watch a Let's Play. Witcher 2, you could probably play through some. 3 is where it gets the golden point of that.
Oh yeah, 3 is a gold mine. Like I was playing that. It must have been right before I moved down here with all the and all the stuff that happened before I moved down here. And I was playing it, and my dad walked in. He goes, "Whoa, this looks really cool." And he sat there with me for 30 minutes and watched me play it. And he does not do that. So, but
the whole Griffin hunt is always great.
But other than that, I've had a real interest in like puzzle games lately. So,
nice.
I've been, I stream a lot now. Kind of what I do. I haven't streamed in 2 months because I had family in town and lots of stuff going on with work. But I've been, I'm going to stream Tangle Tower tomorrow, which is on Steam and is really good if you guys haven't played it.
Where can we find you to stream? Where would this be?
It's twitch.tv/outrageous. That's OUTRACHEOUS. And so I tried it. Hold on.
I said, well done.
Yes. And so I try to stream once a week unless I've got like a whole ton of stuff going on, which sometimes happen. It's just the nature of the beast. But it's fun. And puzzle games are kind of low risk, I would say. Streams and games, they're just can be wildly entertaining and or frustrating, which is kind of funny. But I've got other like games that are kind of, I guess, in my calendar of games to play. Like I'll probably play all the Siberia games, maybe Secret of Monkey Island and the rest of those games that followed it. And it just kind of depends on how I'm feeling. And eventually I'll finish the Ratchet and Clank game that I was streaming before moving on to the one on the PS5. But
That one is so good too.
Yeah.
So good.
But and I'll, like I said, I'll probably be streaming puzzle games for a while. But I'm just glad I survived the holiday season, because my gosh, was I busy at work. But it seems to be slowing down now, so I'm happy about that. And now I have time for my personal projects, which are, I plan to finish 2 big ones this year, which is going to be my custom Death Eater mask, which oh yeah, I made a face cast of my face to make this mask. And I've had that face cast for like a year and a half now. And I've done absolutely nothing with it because of like how busy I was. And then I'm also going to finish making this book replica prop thing that I'm painstakingly designing each page for. And I'm going to print and bind it myself. So that'll be fun. But yeah,
Nice.
Other than just me working a lot, there's not really too much interesting about what's going on in my life. So
you seem to have kept fairly busy. So
oh yeah, I almost never stop. It feels like I work even when I'm at home sometimes. So
yeah, it never ends. It
Feel
seems.
that.
No, it never ends.
So we'll let that end. Caleb, what have you been up to?
Well, most recently I've been going back, and this year I think I want to go back and try to fill out go back and beat my backlog for games and stuff. So I'm gonna try and knock that out. And I've started with Loop Hero. I want to finish that. It's a game where you just, it's a randomly generated path that your little character just kind of walks around in a circle, and you just collect items and stuff like that. And it's like a card. It's also a card game. You get cards and you can make trees pop up on like the distant horizon. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Look up gameplay. It's really hard to describe, but you pretty much walk in a circle. It's all automated. You just choose what equipment and where like landmarks go and stuff like that. It's pretty interesting actually.
Huh.
And then also I've recently had it. Say again?
I said that seems like just like super chill, which is kind of nice.
It is super chill until it gets stressful, and then
okay, all right.
Because you're like, yeah, I'm doing pretty good, and then you'll run into like some monsters, and I'll be like, bah! Like, oh my gosh,
like, oh no, I lied.
No, it is very nice. Loop Hero, take a look at it when you can. And then I recently had an itch to play Pokken Tournament DX on the Switch. I don't know why. I don't know what has possessed me to go back and start playing it again, but I'm like, this game is so good. Why did nobody pick it up and play it? I don't understand.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's so simple and easy, but nobody ever wants to play it. Or you have the fighting game purist, or like, how dare you mix my 3D and 2D fighters together like this? Simplified controls.
Well, let me ask you this: did you ever get any of the controllers for it? There are specific ones they made.
No, I never.
Those do still work on the Switch, even from the Wii U.
I just used the Pro controllers, but no, I never got the specialized ones.
Caleb's over here like, don't tell me that. I don't need that. Don't tell me that there's specialized controllers.
Let me go get them and show you the special Pikachu edition one they made.
I don't need to spend more money. Oh, away with you. No, and then I've also been recently watching Comey Can't Communicate. It's an anime on Netflix to where you have this popular girl, or she seems to be popular, and she's really beautiful, but she can't talk to anybody. So it's kind of funny and actually really adorable, and it's interesting.
That's a weird premise.
No, it's a good
Rachel
premise.
looks very confused.
No. So she literally has like a communication issue. Like,
okay,
she just gets really tense and nervous when actually trying to talk to somebody.
Oh.
But she's gotten away with it because, you know, she's so pretty and everything that people are like, oh, I know what you want, or, yo, you're so popular. And, you know, it's really sweet and really funny.
I'm not going to lie. That sounds kind of weird.
No, just watch a trailer or something. I'm telling
being
you,
judgmental.
It's not weird. I promise you. It's really sweet. And then I watched Arcane, which is the also Netflix animated series based off of League of Legends. And if you're
I've
like,
watched a few episodes, yeah.
if you're like, League of Legends, blah, but no, it's good. If you just watch it and you haven't ever played League of Legends, you'll be fine. As we know, Amon, he has deeply fallen in love with it. I'm quite afraid of what's going to happen to him because I'm like, you're going deep down the dark rabbit hole of League of Legends. He's like, I know, I can't stop. I love the characters. I'm like, don't do it.
Yep.
Don't
it
do it.
started something. It's awakened something.
It has. We watched that for our podcast, Content Breaker. If you go look at us on YouTube, we're like the first thing that pops up. So, yep.
All right.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll go next here. So
Last
I finally,
but not least.
yeah, mostly least, whatever. So I finally
Well, we
finished.
got to move on.
Oh, this is like old times. No. So I finally finished Halo Infinite's main storyline. The game itself continues on, but that game is big. Like there's just stuff everywhere to run around and do. I actually did really enjoy it. It was kind of surprising how quickly it ended. Like I was going through some boss fights and I was like, oh, cool. I'm going to see where the story goes. Are those credits? Wait a minute. Like, did they just Halo 2 me again? Like we're just
I was about to say, is that like Halo 2? I'm pretty sure they'll have some kind of DLC come out later. I think that's what they're
there's
doing.
been some stuff that's kind of leaked. Like they found a video in there that sounds like you might be finding your co-op partner as a story-based thing. So that I'm looking forward to that because I definitely want to play this again in co-op on Legendary. So I've been pretty much, hi, my name is Jeremy and I've been addicted to Forza Horizon 5. I can't stop playing it.
Hi, Jeremy.
This is not a support group.
Yeah.
We're enablers, actually. We'll enable you.
Can I get you guys to play? It can play on PC with me. Rachel, I know you have a computer good enough to do it. Caleb, you can.
Only if you buy it for me.
Well, with Game Pass, you can just play it.
And don't have Game Pass.
Well, I can buy that. It's only $10. But I've been playing just so much of this game with Remy, who's been on previous shows. He was the guy that the one time I had to do the Nerd Edification Hour without you guys because you were out of town. He was the one that did it with me for that one show.
How's Remy doing?
Doing good. He got COVID.
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah. He's alive, thankfully.
That's good.
Yeah. But they're making him go back to work already. So,
of course.
Yeah. Just take your time, guys. And then my friend Josh, we've been playing a lot. I haven't had much sleep because we've been playing so much. I think we were up until almost 2 a.m. last night playing. Just doing races. Like, hey, we can get one more race in. Let's do this one more thing. Seriously, it's like an addiction. I have been traveling though. This is why after we did the last show last year, it's weird saying last year already.
I know, it's so weird. It doesn't feel like it's 2022, honestly.
No, it doesn't. Probably because we can't leave our house most of the time. I got a bunch of toys and games. Like I've on my travels got a huge haul of stuff, which I was showing you some of the stuff earlier, Caleb, and I was telling you about it, Rachel, as well, which she got to see the the shuttlecraft Goddard from the Enterprise D that I got. I was showing it off earlier. But there's a couple places I want to call out. In Virginia Beach, if you are looking for a good place to find stuff, Video Game Heaven, which also ended up becoming so big they bought out their competition cool stuff, so that's not part of it. That place in Virginia Beach in Norfolk, I think I dropped like $700 in that store. Like it was, that was the first visit.
I have a few hundred. Huh? I have not found a good like retro game store down in my neck of the woods yet. I mean,
really?
No, like they're not like Dusty's. Like it doesn't have the same vibe. Like I've gone in there and it's just the same stuff every time I go. They don't get anything new in. And if it is, it's like
yeah, so. I'm not really the biggest fan of the stores we have here, sadly. The best one locally is in Pensacola that I've been going to, which is a really good one. One of the other ones I found on my trip, though, in Richmond, Virginia, was Dawnstar Video Games. And the prices were a little high, but they had a collection of consoles like I had never physically laid eyes on before. I was like, holy crap, they are real. Like how they actually look. I was seeing like one of the Pioneer Laserdisc setups that had the cartridge piece that could remove to play Genesis games, or you could put another component in that would let you play TurboGrafx. Like it was a stereo system console. It's weird.
Yeah, but if you hear of anything down in my neck of the woods, please let me know, because I'm like, I've Googled upon Googled, and I'm just like, these people are not on Google, or I'm looking in the wrong place. So,
well, pretty much my rule is whenever I'm traveling, I have it saved as a Google search, and I just look for retro game stores near me, and it will look within a certain radius of me, and that's how I found a bunch of the stores as I travel. Is what I usually do. But the last one is the Virginia Antique Mall. This place,
oh yeah, I think I saw some pictures. I was like, what in the world am I looking at?
Yeah. You guys remember about how big Toys R Us usually was? Pretty good sized store. This is the upper floor of this antique mall that's bigger than the Toys R Us with more stuff in it because they keep growing every time I go there. Rachel, I sent you the picture of some of the stuff they had from Beetlejuice. Like I found like some old religious anime cartoon thing that Caleb had mentioned that I sent. And he's like, holy crap. Like toys. Like I was finding stuff I didn't even know existed. I spent a lot there. A lot of toys though. But
that reminds me of when I went on me and Dana went on an anniversary trip to we're up in the mountains up near Pigeon Forge and all that stuff, and we were like, hey, look, here's some random antique store. She loves antiques. So we went in, me not expecting anything. We just found one of the it's kind of like everybody rents out a space inside, so there's like different like places in there, and we ran into one. It was a bunch of nerd stuff, and I was like and there was a giant I think either $1,000 or $2,000 like Vault Boy, the thumbs up. It was giant. Like we have a picture.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And I was like, what in the world is that doing here? I'm like, I want to take it home, but also I ain't got that much money and we ain't got no trunk space for that.
Yeah, like some of the stuff I found, I got my first Famicom Disk System game. I found a couple of them when I was up there with the Dawnstar Video Games in Richmond, and I picked up Castlevania for that, which was kind of cool to get. I'm still looking for Metroid. But the other thing I've picked up recently, for those that are watching this or can look, that is not a giant Series X. That's a mini fridge. I bought the Microsoft Xbox Series X mini fridge. It's like 1.5 scale. It's not bad. It actually does keep my drinks cold. So at least it does what a fridge is supposed to.
Keeps your Mountain Dews fresh for hardcore gaming experiences.
You're like the third person that told me I should put Mountain Dew in it. I'm like, I don't actually drink that much. Oh, Lord.
You need to put the Dorito flavored Mountain Dew in there.
That sounds disgusting.
Oh, it was.
Rachel, do you want some Dorito flavored Mountain Dew?
No.
Well, that face says it all. Yeah. Is that real?
You don't want to drink cheese? I think it was real. I think they stopped it though. Yeah.
No.
Bad. I think they had Doritos that were flavored like Mountain Dew, but Mountain Dew that was flavored like Doritos. It's like they swapped flavors.
I'm looking at you with judgment just for knowing this. I don't think
it lasted long. So
oh, that is utterly disgusting sounding. Oh, anyways. I think we've talked about what we've done enough. Let's move on to the news.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Let's just get away from that point as much as we can. That's a forbidden knowledge.
I just think about drinking cheese, and I'm like, cheese dip good for a tortilla chip, not for drink.
Right. If we're doing that, I need some good queso and some chips here. Come on. I want Mexican now. I'm hungry.
Are we moving on?
Get yourself some Taco Bell when we're done with this.
Yeah.
Well, if it's early enough, I'll go get actual good taco Mexican over Old Mexico.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Oh yeah, that place is great.
Yeah.
All right, so starting off the news,
Nintendo
2021
news
and the beginning of 2022 has decided to take some more people away from us. I know we've been losing a lot of people recently, but gaming related, John Madden, football coach back in the day and creator of the John Madden football series, passed away at 85.
Yeah.
And apparently the last thing he got to do was watch, somebody had made a documentary about him that they were going to air, and they let him watch it before it was going to air. So that was kind of his final wish. So that was kind of nice. At least he got to do that with his family before he passed. Sadly, like, people are taking early copies of Madden and like selling them for hundreds of dollars now. So people are already trying to cash in, which
of course
we'll talk about later, has been a very, it's not a new trend, but it's always a horrible one.
It's not a new trend at all.
Like, no. Next up is the one I almost thought would never die. Betty White passed away on December 31st at 99 years old.
That was,
technically, and this is something that and everyone's like wailing over the fact that she passed.
You're gonna hate
right
me for this because I know what you're gonna say.
100th birthday party, and one of my dad, who's a nurse, and also a bunch of other people in the medical profession have told me, literally just a few days after your 99th birthday, you're basically considered 100 years old. Like, you are. But also, like, she lived through enough leap years.
I liked that idea, but technically a leap year calculates for the about quarter day of the time. It just kind of puts it together for that.
Yep.
But yeah, I'll give it to her anyways. Who cares?
As far as I'm concerned, she made it.
The history will be written down in the history books that, yes, technically she did not live to the 100th birthday, but we all believe she was 100 in our hearts.
Well, I think Ryan Reynolds, I think, was the one that actually was the one that said it, but talking about, or I read it somewhere. I think maybe it was in a comic, that she lived such a good life that even 99 felt like it was too short.
Yeah.
Like that says a lot. Also, that woman was absolutely hilarious. She was. After we found out about that, I was at my grandma's house up in the mountains. She's 83. And we were just sitting there turning on clips of Betty White from different stuff on Roku. And A, she's funny. B, that woman could get blue. Like, she had some rude comedy, which was great. She had no cares.
I saw a post somewhere that her assistant or something said that, like, her last words were her husband's name. And I was like, oh.
That makes sense.
My heart. So.
Well, she's been wanting to be back with him for so long. So, I mean, if that's how it goes, then hopefully that is. And then to finish up, this happened very recently. I think maybe even yesterday, I believe. Sir Sidney Poitier passed away. He was the first African-American to win, I believe it was an Oscar. I think that's what it's called. But he was a phenomenal actor for decades of work. So, yeah.
And it's, people die every day, but I think in the last year or two, we've paid more close attention to it. More so than I think ever in the past.
I think they paid attention to it before. It's just we're all getting older, and people that we looked up to for our entire lives are starting to kind of pass away.
Yeah.
And so it's more noticeable for us. Like when we were kids and somebody, an older actor would pass away, we may not even have a second thought. But now we're like, oh, we've known about this person our entire lives. I grew up watching Golden Girls, and, I've seen a lot of this stuff. I played Madden with friends. So, yeah. Who knows?
Yeah, it was a rough couple days.
Honestly, and I mean, we're now 7 days in, and it's been like,
Yeah, I mean, I've already had to deal enough since November when my little brother passed away, having to, like, this is just keep adding more people. It just keeps going. Life goes on. But next up, we're going to talk about Sony made some announcements. They finally came out with more information about the PlayStation VR 2. All this time we waited. That's what their marketing people could come up with. Literally, PlayStation VR 2.
Like, Okay, guys, we gotta think of a name. What do we call it? Just throw 2 on it. It's due in an hour. Just do it.
Go ahead, Rachel.
Wait a minute. I think we skipped something?
No, I'm doing that for later.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
I, see,
I think he's doing
I
that
was I was about to be like, wait a minute.
You were the first person that's actually paid attention to the notes and followed that. So usually no one ever says anything. So congrats. Rachel
I noticed
is still,
it. I just didn't say
still
anything.
on the ball. For
I'm
the
still on the
notes.
ball. I'm on the ball. I've been on the ball this entire time. I haven't gone off the ball. You'll just see me in the background one day, just sitting on this giant, like one of those yoga balls, and be like, I'm still on it, man. Still on it.
Oh, I missed that attention to detail. That's great. But yeah, seriously, like, were they having like a drunken party and then realized, oh crap, the announcement's next week. We got to come up with something. Sober up.
I think it was
gold.
cocaine.
Let's do it.
I want to say it was cocaine.
So Sony really said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, just slap a 2 on the end.
Slap a 2 on the end and be done with it.
It feels more like if we don't have it, let's just name it something basic. Like we don't even have it yet.
As
People
long
will
as
remember this.
we just can't say U. If we say PSVR U, people will not buy it. We learned that from Nintendo.
We don't want to have the PS5 name in it. People can't get those. We don't want to remind them of that.
Oh, God. I'm surprised I got one when I did. Thank you to my friend back home.
Yeah, I got my Series X and my PS5 both on launch day, both because of dumb luck and circumstance. I will not deny that.
I just told a friend of mine back home I want one, and he goes, I know the manager of this Target. He'll tell me when a drop is. And that's what happened.
Shame. You got to do that sometimes. Like,
yeah.
Oh, that's great. Oh, man. So the controllers are being called the PlayStation VR2 Sense controllers.
Wow.
Because they're continuing the DualSense name now over to this. They remind me very much of the controllers from like the Oculus Quest 2, which is not a bad thing. I do like that design. We have no idea how much this is going to cost or the release date. I know comparable headsets of this level go for almost $900, like the Vive. So hopefully they'll be able to bring it down from that. But I'm going to guess probably at least $500. I mean, it's going to pretty much cost another console, basically.
Gosh.
Oh, it's going to be a hard pill to swallow.
Do you have money?
It's literally, gaming is getting so expensive that it's...
Oh, I know.
No, hear me out, guys. Hear me out.
Go ahead.
You know how okay, this is gonna go into theme park brain for a second. You know how people have been saying for a while that, Disney is basically making it impossible for the normal person to go to Disney?
Yes.
Companies are now making it impossible for the normal person to enjoy gaming as it grows.
I agree. I completely agree with you. I mean, I'm lucky with the position I'm in for being able to afford a lot of this stuff. And even I'm just going like, okay, this is starting to hurt. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Feel that though. I'm just like, can't buy all the games I want. There's too many games, too pricey. I gotta play my old stuff. I gotta catch up.
Yeah. I mean, for the specs on this thing, why I think it's so much, it's a 4K OLED screen at 120 hertz. That's a really good refresh rate. You're getting 2000 by 2040 per eye. So your full image with 110 degree viewing angle is 4K. So that's impressively well done. And a lot of people, frame rate is the biggest thing that kind of overcomes motion sickness. If you ever play VR, it doesn't have to be the highest resolution, but if that frame rate is not consistent and fast, it makes a lot of people nauseous. Do you guys remember the early Oculus dev kit that I had when you guys would try it out and you're like,
yeah,
okay.
like I'm good.
Yeah. That was like 800 by 600 at whatever frame rate my laptop could do. It was rough.
I'm remembering, I haven't done a lot of VR. Like I've done like VR that's, in like arcades and stuff like that. I almost got to do the Kraken at SeaWorld when they had those VR headsets on it.
Oh wow.
No.
I didn't know they did that.
No. We don't mention it. We don't talk about it. It was a bad time. Yeah.
I take it I missed something there.
One thing is that like the The headsets were heavy, and it's a high-speed roller coaster, so
Oh,
it's a
wow.
safety thing.
That's a bad idea.
Yeah, I mean, it tested well
That's-
initially, but I'm not surprised that
They
because I
tested
wanted.
on a weightlifter with those like giant necks.
Oh God!
Oh, it's not that
But-
bad. I can hold this up.
But I think it was more so like you when you have the headset on and it comes down, your whole head then is then attached to the seat, so you cannot move from it. So I guess it was like a claustrophobia kind of thing. But anyway,
Oh,
the
yeah,
only
that would
the
creep
only
me out.
yeah the only VRs I've done is stuff at arcades and then PlayStation VR. I played the Batman one. That was fun.
That was fun. I like that one. I do really. PlayStation VR, I think, kind of the opposite of what you're talking about. Like, that was a much more affordable way for people to get into VR compared to a lot of the options.
Like
It was
Oculus
actually,
and all that. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I have an Oculus Quest 2. I think that's now the better way to get into VR
Mm-hmm.
because you can get it, you can play it by itself, comes with the controllers, and then you have the option to plug it into a computer and use it for Steam and stuff also. So it kind
Right.
of opens up that. But
Like-
at the time, PSVR was it was the way to go.
Yeah. The weirdest thing for me was after playing it, because I only played it for about 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember because it was my friend Dakota's VR.
Okay.
And we went to this bar after with a bunch of our friends. But when I was in the car with him, I literally kept looking down and expecting to see Batman hands. The cel-shaded Batman hands. And I was just like, and I looked at it, he goes, "What's that look on your face?" And I'm like, I keep looking down. And I think because I've been holding the controllers for so long, for 30 minutes. And I'm like, Batman hands.
You get to the bar and it's like, "Ma'am, can we have your ID?" "No, I'm Batman."
Basically. But yeah, Batman
All right,
hands.
she's already drunk. Wow. That was a really fun one, though.
It was.
Like for VR stuff, I've been playing a lot of Resident Evil 4 recently as well, and that's converted over really a lot better. So one of the weird new features, this will include eye tracking. So it knows where you're looking while you're playing.
Well, that's kind of cool.
That'd
I
be
mean,
interesting.
That seems super responsive.
Well, that ties into some of the stuff when they were talking about the features. They had something called Foveated Rendering, which at the time I was like, what is this? And then I had to look it up, and it ties in with that. So imagine you're playing a game. It's really graphically intense, but it's only rendering all the detail where your eyes are looking. Everything outside of that, it starts lessening the detail because you're not focused on it.
That's interesting.
So I'm wondering how that works depending on how fast your eyes are moving.
Lasers.
I'm also thinking about for people who stream when they do VR, because they have themselves on camera and you can see them doing what they do and whatnot. And
Go
then
check
I'm wondering,
on YouTube to watch me play Iron Man and laugh.
and then like think about how that would now when you capture that, is it going to capture that happening with it really graphically good wherever they're looking, and then gradually I don't know that it would be noticeable.
That's a good point
to the naked eye or whatever, or if there's some kind of tech software in the headset in there that is gonna like basically when you connect it to whatever capture card, it just goes so only we see it.
Well, I know the PlayStation
I wanted to make that noise.
You said fans.
I know the PlayStation VR, it kind of gave you like one of the eyes perspective. So you'd have kind of a cropped in view of it when you're looking around. So you'd be able to stream it to show what you're doing, but you would kind of lose the outside edge. There was like a couple of games that you could play that you couldn't do that because other people would use the TV while you were in the screen. So yeah, it would pretty much, unless they wanted to render it more than once, it kind of defeats the purpose of that special rendering if they're rendering it all for the visual. Now I'm wondering, you got me thinking on that one. You broke my brain.
I started something.
You did. Well, the other thing I'm curious about, because it's got that expanded field of view, it's 110 degrees, how that's going to display on the TV as well, because it's a much wider area. So maybe it will be the cropped in, and you're only seeing that area you're looking at and the outside is cut off. I don't know. We still haven't seen the headset. They've yet to actually show it.
They'll probably be like, you cannot stream with this. Why not? Because secrets.
I hope
That's
not.
why.
For people hoping that this would be a wireless VR headset, it will not, but it is designed to be a single cable. Which that's how I have to use my Oculus with my PC. And honestly, it's not that bad. It's way better than the PlayStation VR's like 3 cables or something. Like it's a process to get that connected every time. They only showed off one game, which was Horizon VR Call of the Mountain. It's going to be a PSVR 2 exclusive title. They had a brief video, a really nice environment. They showed one of the big dinosaur-like creatures walking by, and you can kind of get the sense of scale. It was only a couple of seconds they even showed anything. So, and lastly, the headset will have feedback. Say what?
Sorry, I'll have to go take a look. That's what I said.
Oh, okay. So, do you guys have any other thoughts on this?
No, there's not enough information.
Oh yeah,
we don't have enough. Like, I don't know what it looks like. We know it's coming. We know. Are you
going to ready up a kidney to sell so you can afford it?
No. I'd rather keep my kidney just in case someone I love needs one. So,
but VR,
but kidneys,
and plus I like my kidneys.
I sold my last kidney to play this. I gotta play it while it lasts.
Oh Lord! So, given the specs and what they've shown off so far, I know it's kind of limited, but Caleb, I'll start with you. About how much do you think this is going to go for?
I'm sure it'll be upward like 800 ish, maybe.
Oh, that's a good bit more than even the console. Rachel, what do you think?
Yeah.
I'm going to say that they're going to try to make it slightly less than the console cost. So it's going to be like 450. That's my guess. Just to make them feel better.
Yeah, I think they're going to probably, at least at first, I think it's going to be the same cost as the system at least.
Yeah.
Because they're going to treat it like its own system, even though it's an expansion, because it's supposed to, I wonder if it includes the controllers. It better include the controllers.
Well, someone's going to whine about it is what's going to happen.
Oh,
so they're going to have to knock the price down a little bit.
So. They're going to release it early, and then in the holiday season, it'll go on sale for the actual price that they want to sell it at.
Because I think I remember the original PlayStation VR, it was like 400 something, wasn't it? Like $399 when it first came out, and that was without the Move control. Maybe that was the bundle with it.
It was I think it was the bundle, and now and then after they started bundling games with it. Thank God.
Yeah.
But I mean, honestly, coming from someone who used to work at a video game store, when it comes to those kind of accessories, like VR stuff, it's best to sell them as a bundle with a game, because otherwise people buying them, they're not gonna know what to buy. They're just as lost as regular Joe Schmo on the street.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of wondering, like, will they include that Horizon VR, or they have an Astro's Playroom like they did before to do it?
I loved that game on the PS5. It was so cute.
The VR one was so much fun too.
It was so cute. Like I would, if they made another one for the PS5, just something like fun, I'd play it again, because I had such a good time with that game.
Well, the other thing people are trying to find out about, they won't answer it yet when they're asked, but will it be backwards compatible with the PS4 VR games? Like we haven't got clarification on that.
No comment.
Do you ever expect them to give a direct answer about any kind of backwards compatibility thing?
No.
Because they know better at this point.
Jeremy, no one else but us can care about backwards compatibility. You know that. They want to move forward.
They made me jump through hoops to register my VR headset to get an adapter to play it on my PS5. Let me know if I can use this new headset. Anyways. So let's move on to something illegal that happened.
Ooh, I love illegal.
Illegal's fun. This is a weird Twitch one, though. 40 people have been arrested in a Twitch money laundering scheme, some of which are minors. They apparently were using stolen credit cards to buy bits that they would give to the streamers, and then the streamers would turn around and give them about 70 to 80% refund, so that the people that scammed it would get that percentage to keep.
This is some multi-leveled stuff right here. I don't know what I'm looking at.
The streamers would keep the rest of it. but they tried to say that they weren't all aware of what was going on. I'm sorry, if you're giving refunds like that consistently, you know what's going on.
Well, first off, how did they think they weren't going to get caught?
Yeah, it was actually another.
So listen, anything.
Uh-huh.
Here's what I've learned watching so many movies over the years having to do with crime and also television, and then also knowing actual former criminals, and
wow. Okay.
having
Did not see that aspect coming.
Yeah, well, and then they've done their time.
Fair enough. You do your time. You're good.
And also knowing people in law enforcement and lawyers and all that kind of stuff. Here's the long and the short of it. If you use a credit card or do any kind of money, anything online, whereas there is an internet connection, there is a paper trail.
Yep.
The only paper trail that does not, the only thing that does not have a paper trail is cold, hard cash pass between two individuals with no record or
Which is
receipts.
kind of ironic because the paper money has no paper trail, but the one that doesn't use paper has a paper trail. You know what I mean?
Where do you think Vegas came from? I mean,
no,
I'm not even kidding. That's a good bit of why they're casinos.
Not to
they're
mention all your
money
crime
laundering.
is technically being recorded as well. So I think maybe some Twitch streamers just get a super ego to think they're invincible. I could get away with crime. Haha.
Crime. But yeah,
I don't know. This is I never heard.
Well, you know what? This is actually my first time hearing about this. So cool.
How would you think of this though?
I don't like.
Where
And
do
also,
people come up with this stuff.
Well, also some of them are minors, so that makes me wonder whether a minor came up with it because they're young and they're dumb.
Well, this took place. It was in Turkey that this happened. It was Turkish police that raided them in different provinces.
That makes more sense then. No, it doesn't. But that's really stupid of them.
Yes, Turkey. I forget. That's where all the popular streamers are at. Yeah.
But but also good job to the streamers that actually blew the whistle on them. So good job to them.
Yes, good.
Yeah, it was, according to the Kotaku argument, Kotaku article.
I mean, you're not wrong. Kotaku articles are an argument sometimes.
Is that a Freudian slip?
With themselves.
Oh, I'm sure someone will argue about it. Back in October, it was Ahmet. I apologize ahead of time if I pronounce this correctly. I am not good with names. Ahmet Jarain Sanuk.
Sounds.
It's a C with a symbol underneath that I've never seen before. He had announced in a tweet that he had documents proving money laundering that he noticed on other streamers that didn't have that many viewers or streams, but that were getting a buttload of money, and he was kind of paying attention to it. So, good on him for saying something and kind of going along with that to be like, hey, that ain't right. But I mean, they're looking at it, and they could have gone as high as $9.8 million have been stolen in this way already.
Oh gosh, man,
that's insane.
That is insane. But can you imagine having that amount of money?
Nope.
Well, this has apparently been going. They have a paper trail going back over 2 years. This has been going on.
They gotta, you should just stop when you're ahead. Honestly, at some point, just stop when you're ahead. 2 years.
They think it's the perfect crime, and they'll keep going. You get that rush of thinking, "Oh, I can do this, and no one's catching me." So they just keep doing it until somebody notices. That's what happened, I think.
Personally, I would have just stopped at $1 million and said, "All right, now I can invest in everything, and I'm good."
I'm like, did they not have to explain where that millions of dollars came from?
I mean, maybe, but just don't think about it.
Where did all this money come from? Oh, I don't know. It disappeared one day.
I worked really hard for it.
So because there had to be a paper trail because so you have to have a Twitch account, I think, to put the card in to do the bits. And then I'm sure Twitch tracks who gives bits to who. So how many accounts do these people have that all these cards would pop up?
Who knows?
I don't know. I think I've been given bits one time in my life while streaming, and that was about it.
I've been given bits 2 or 3 times, but it's by the same person, like a
Yeah.
friend from back home that are just like, yeah, I had some bits left over from blah blah blah. So here's some bits, and I'm like,
I'll
oh,
give you some
neat.
scraps. Yeah.
Yeah,
For me, it's
I'll
like
give you
I got
scraps.
$1.
I'm happy with anything, honestly. I'm just happy if one person is watching my stream. So
Well, I laughed. It's like, oh, cool. I've got $1, and it's like, how much do you have to have before you can get it? I don't know, but it's way more than $1, so I'll never see it.
it's $100.
Oh yeah, no, I was way short.
Yeah.
But hey, I can say someone gave me money. I'll take it. All right, so moving on to the next one here. The ESA, or Entertainment Software Association, has announced that E3 2022 has been canceled and will be an online event once again because of the Omicron COVID variant, because people are too stupid to go and get vaccinated and not walk around spreading disease.
What?
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say
What?
that out
I'm just
loud?
kidding. Yeah, you did. I'm just kidding.
I'm completely unsurprised by this development.
No,
Shocking.
shocking no one.
I think it's actually a very responsible choice, though.
It
Like,
is. Who would have
E3
thought
would
the
have
gaming
been
community would be
bad.
responsible?
Right?
Not the
So-
boomers.
Yeah. Well,
Not the-
E3 2020 was outright canceled, if you guys remember
Mhm.
that. Like, there
Oh, I
was no
remember.
E3 that year.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a spread out mess of companies trying to have their own events, which
They were
did
like-
not go
They
well.
were calling all of their like video
Ugh.
editors and like graphic designers, going, "Oh my god, we need a video
Help.
thing designed. Oh my god, please help.
I know you're
Help.
stuck at home, but I need you to make this.
We'll send
Make
you
our
a
entire
computer.
online
Just do it."
And
Please.
2021 was all digital, which of course Nintendo's like copycats.
Mm-hmm.
I say
Yeah.
that, but Nintendo does have a pretty good presence at E3 usually, because people would still be there to try out demos. They haven't done a live show in years, but they always had those different booths, and they do the Nintendo Treehouse Live.
I think for as much money as people make off of E3 in terms of pre-order sales, merch sales, all that kind of stuff,
Mhm.
I think it's more cost effective for them to keep it as digital.
Yeah.
That way people like, me who can't go to E3 can honestly just feel like, included without missing anything, if that makes sense.
I feel like it is going to move in that direction, and like probably mostly definitely moving forward. We'll see next year what they decide, if there's a new variant, or if we're all wiped off the face of the earth by then. I don't know.
Once,
We'll see.
Once
But-
the old stupid non-science believers are all killed off, and we can go back to doing something. I was hoping the show would become big enough we could get into E3, and I'll bring you along, Rachel.
Oh, yay!
We'll get
But
to the
no-
door. What are y'all with? And Caleb's just like, nerd identification. Shut up, Caleb. No, it's
Nerd Identification Hour, finally, after all this time. Ha, ha, ha.
you're not on the list. Oh,
Aw. I guess I'll go wait in the car.
that's
I
funny.
just hope for things to return to some relative normalcy by the time like I finished quite a few cosplays that I've been working on, so I could actually go to cons again. So
Yeah, that's a big thing for you for a lot of that stuff. Like,
I
the
haven't
last
been
convention-
in 2 years now. I
Yeah,
haven't even worked on cosplay or done anything. Like my Instagram is dead. I post every
Oh.
now and then with Twitch stuff. So
dang. I mean, I got lucky. The last convention I got to go to was 2019 Dragon Con. That was the first Dragon Con I ever went to, right before all this stuff started.
I was
They don't
at 2019 Dragon Con. How did we not? How?
Rachel, why? Oh, I have to look through my pictures now. Like, are you like masked up somewhere walking around? I just didn't recognize you.
Yeah, I
I
definitely
was
went
there
to
the whole time.
So was I, but I was like attached at the hip with the crit show fam. So like,
I was by myself mostly.
had I known, I would have met up with you.
Well, I was supposed to go with a friend. She was like, "I'll take you and I'll show you around," and then she canceled, and I couldn't have anyone else go with me. And I'm like, "Oh,
No, we were staying at a hotel literally from walking distance of the main like places, and it was a good time. No lie.
I had to get an Uber from across town, but it made it more worth it. I walked the first day and had someone try and bug me for my camera equipment. I was like, "We're not doing this again. I'm getting Ubers
Yeah.
from now on."
Oh yeah, no, it
Couple
was
bucks
just
and I live.
me and the crit show guys. So it was literally me and a bunch of dudes in the hotel room. And it was funny because I felt like the room mom a little bit. So, and they're all older than I am. So I was
Stop
like,
it. Finish your snacks. Pick up your drink.
Don't leave your underwear on the floor.
Like,
you're not raised in a barn.
Y'all stop picking on your little brother.
No, really, they're actually pretty cleanly, but it was a fun time. I have very fond memories of it because that was like the last con that I went to. So,
dang, so we both went to the same one.
Yeah. Some of my friends' last con was Pensacon 2020 because it happened before the happening. So,
right, the happening.
The Backstreet Boys reunion tour.
Yeah.
What? No. We're talking about good things here.
But yeah, no, I'm excited to see what because now that I guess it was still kind of in flux, I suppose, of 2021 being of E3 being all digital. So people didn't really think about preparing as far in advance, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this time since last year was all digital, and they kind of was like, well, if this one was, probably next year will be too. So I think they've had some more time to kind of get their bearings and really hopefully go all out with their presentations, because half of the fun is the presentations and all the weird crap that happens during the presentations. So
right. I mean, most of them were phasing out their live shows anyways, and they've kind of separating out to what they would do, but they've all hopefully gotten better at doing online stuff. Like Sony has gotten a little better.
It cost like, I don't think people
realize
how much money it costs them to do those live shows. Like, you have to pay all of the tech people to set up the lights. You have to pay people to design all the effects. You have to get guests sometimes, like,
just the cost of flying the people out there has got to be ridiculous when
ridiculous.
Some of them are from other countries.
Some event planner somewhere was wailing and grinding their teeth going, I don't know how we're gonna do this in time for this.
Well, then also like, we have to have a playable demo. Okay, we got to put this part of the group on crunch to get this demo done so we can get that up there, and
lots of internal screaming. So I hope this really takes
and crying.
Yes, I hope this takes a lot of stress off of developers and just companies in regards to doing E3, because it's kind of like, okay, we don't have to do anything physically. We just have to design a bunch of videos and we'll finish the games enough where you can showcase a demo or a trailer. So
yeah. And the nice thing is they can go more into depth without having to extend the entire show out. Like, you can have say take an hour, show off a bunch of games, and then have other trailers released. Like, oh, you liked what that game looked like? Here's a good 10-minute thing we did on it.
Yeah.
That they can have as a separate video. If you're interested, you go check it out. Yeah. Instead of everybody having to sit through it and taking up a chunk of the thing,
Yeah.
Because I think 2020 showed us, like, it benefits everybody to have this event. E3 is very good, not just for, all the companies to see what games to pre-order and all that stuff like we know about, but for us to see what's coming out.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. And hey,
coughing there.
If anybody hears about those game companies hiring people, I'm a video editor guy and I film stuff too. Look at that. Wow. I'll send you my resume. But anyway.
Good attempt. But 2021, it was more, they actually had an E3, it was digital, but they had everybody doing it on a schedule, and kind of, we had a time, and it was still an event for people to focus on. Because 2020 was spread out so much. Like, do you remember exactly what was even shown that year? Because it was there was no one big thing. It was just a bunch of crap throughout the year.
I don't remember it at all.
2020 was a blur. Just the year itself.
When was E3 last year? Was it June?
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay, that was like, I remember hearing about like videos coming out because I was working on the day that it was airing live.
I was streaming it at work.
And I couldn't, because I can't have my phone on me when I'm like out there.
Right.
And so I was like watching like little clips of it when I was on lunch or on my 15. And I think there was only like maybe 3 trailers that I was like, oh yeah, cool. So, and then last year there was a little bit more. And then so this year, I mean, it's got to be better. Like there's some stuff in the works that I'm just like, come on, guys, like let's go.
Well, a lot of them are trying to come up to speed because COVID has completely messed up how they were doing stuff for the better. Sometimes, like people are more freely able to do work from home, which has helped a lot of people as well.
The
Instead of having
work-life balance is a lot better for people that work in the gaming industry, honestly, because they can do it from home. I think that the issue for a lot of gaming companies is because a lot of these developers have high-powered computers and all that kind of stuff, even better than what they have at work sometimes.
It's their personal rig. They put the money in that one.
Yeah, to work on and to do their job. But I think the risk for companies is you have to give that person that's at home access to a drive like from their house, which is another like point of entry for somebody to hack into it, which totally, is a security thing.
Oh yeah, they have to up their cybersecurity, definitely.
Yeah, and I think a lot of what people don't realize is a lot of the delays have to do with that. Is part of that too. So, because that just doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah,
they don't.
No. I know Nintendo had a huge growth pain with that issue because they weren't used to people taking equipment home. That stuff was on lockdown.
Yeah,
they're very secure on that, and they had to finally be like, undo custom desks to take computers out so people could actually take them home. And they're like, oh, this is so weird.
Yeah. But I really think the gaming industry is better for it, that people are able to work from home. And I think a lot of companies have realized like, holy crap, this is so much cheaper. Why didn't we do this before? Oh my God. We don't have to pay air conditioning bills in this basically can you, I'm trying to think of and trying to imagine the air conditioning bill for a gaming company, because all those computers running at the same exact time for the same amount of hours on the same days continuously as they test a level, test a whole damn game, let's
just turn an air conditioner on full on an office building while we set it on fire and see what happens.
Exactly. So like they don't have to deal with this now. And I'm like, oh damn. So I'm hoping more companies realize that working from home is a good idea. But but on the other hand, I do understand where they're coming from with distraction and that kind of thing, because people can get distracted at home. They can. Like,
I have severe ADHD that's I finally got tested for that at the end of last year, and it was just like, oh yeah, no, you got a problem. Yeah. So when I got to work from home doing the stuff with my lab work, I would get distracted so much. It actually works out better for me to be in the lab, but I'm by myself anyways. But we do have a lot of people, even at my job, that they're working, like they got to move to other places or be in other countries or travel, or, to do whatever they have to do for their family stuff. And some people do their jobs just fine. They don't have to be in the office. And it's just, we've gotten used to it.
I want to say like really the only sector that would really, that it would be almost impossible is the military. Like people who work on projects that are very, 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 very secret and all that kind of stuff, that working from home is very, very much a security risk. So much so that I just remember talking to a friend of mine that I worked at the Navy base, and the laptop that they sent home with him, they had to and this was before COVID, by the way, because he was recovering from a surgery, but he could still work. But man, the hoops that had to be jumped through.
Oh, I remember back when I was working over on base, it got to the point that if you wanted a cell phone over there, you had to have it brought in, and they would physically remove the camera from it back in the day before they started allowing those to a point. Like I remember how security was for a lot of these things.
Goodness.
Well, they had some rooms you'd go into work on. You'd have one person designated that would have to check you out. You would be locked into basically a safe in that room to be able to look at her talk about certain things. Like it's no joke. She's not kidding. You cannot do that from home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I am excited about E3, and I want to know what they're gonna do. I do.
I miss these crazy tangents we used to get on. How did we get to military secrets
because
in the middle
because
of
of
an
security
E3
Because
stuff.
you're
conversation?
Rachel and Jeremy. That's what y'all do.
And working
That's what
from
y'all done
home
every
and
time.
doing things from home and it being all digital. I get it. There's a process with this.
Yeah, I can see the trail, but that's a heck of a trail. We
The
just
more I look at our next topic, the less I believe it. By the way, so
we'll get to that in a second. But the ESA did make a statement to GamesBeat. Quote, due to the ongoing health risks surrounding COVID-19 and its potential impact on safety of exhibitors and attendees, E3 will not be held in person in 2022. We are nonetheless excited about the future of E3 and look forward to announcing more details soon.
listen,
Which is basically what we talked about.
The ESA basically said our primary consumers stay at home anyway in game. So there's
I'm not trying to be bad about it, but they probably looked at it and went, wait, we save how much by not doing this? Oh yeah, we're doing this from home, guys.
Yeah. Hey. Wow.
We don't have to pay for that building and do all this other crazy stuff.
They were probably like, come on, new variant. Come on, new variant. And it came out like, yes.
Oh, I hope not.
We could save money. But also, that's really sad. We actually shouldn't be cheering for this. But yay, we're going to save money.
Right. All right. So our next little bit of news, this is a quick blurb. And I verified this is actually real, even though it sounds like it shouldn't be.
It sounds fake.
Oh, it sounds super fake. Morbius movie was originally supposed to come out January 27th, has been delayed till April 1st of all dates. Why?
Yeah.
Maybe the only thing I could think is with the new variant, they're pushing it back to sometime in April, which is what virologists have said when this variant surge will start to slow down.
Sure.
And then
that's what they said last time.
Yeah. Well, that's what they hope anyway. And so they push back the movie in hopes to make sure that they sell more tickets to the film in the theater. Like, I haven't been to a movie theater in 2 years.
You could have at least held it off till the 8th, but April 1st.
I went and saw Spider-Man. I went and did that one.
Oh, yeah. I haven't even seen that. So
I'm not going to give spoilers.
Spoilers?
No, I had it spoiled for me as we walked into the theater because a woman was walking out and was yelling out, talking to her friend about main points of the story and things that happened. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me.
There's some things that I already know about it. But it was stuff that I knew about it before the film even came out because I'm just like, of course they're going to be in it. Like, why wouldn't they be? So
we don't know what she's talking about of they. So just
go
watch the movie. We're not going to spoil anything here.
Villains
go watch the movie.
Yeah. More villains. More villains in the movie.
Yeah.
I mean, Galactus shows up, but still.
Yeah.
I am Devourer of Worlds. Also legally available now.
When Dr. Doom came in and we're like, what? I'm just kidding.
My God.
I did not expect Howard the Duck to show up again.
Yeah, right. Glad that reference wasn't wasted. But
he was drunk, but he was there. Howard.
When is he not drunk?
And when is he not there? He's always showing up.
He's always there.
That duck gets around.
He does.
Oh man. Yeah, that's just. You think they'd want to have it? I think you're right. It's probably because of the coronavirus stuff going on, but you think they'd want it to be closer to the actual Spider-Man launch. Like, hey, Spider-Man's super hot right now. Let's have something that is kind of tangentially attached to it. Let's go ahead and release that and ride those coattails. But why April 1st? Like that, that's people are going to mock. You don't even think it's real.
We could say it was just the April Fool's joke. Haha.
Maybe they know it's bad and that's their excuse.
Yeah, right. That's the only thing I can think of. So
I'm not gonna lie, I don't have the highest hopes for this movie. So
yeah,
I'm gonna.
All
see
I know is it's got Michael Keaton in it, and that's all I care about.
Yeah, that raises all other continuity issues of what's going on with that. So we'll see. All right, last bit of news, and this is we're pretty much just ripping into people getting into a stupid train of things, but NFTs have become the new thing. So do we want to? How did we used to explain terms, Caleb, back in the day?
Well, see, we have a nerd vocab thing, right? And so today's nerd vocab is NFTs. What are NFTs? Non-fungible tokens. What are non-fungible tokens? Things with certain IDs on the blockchain technology that are stored in the universe somewhere. That's most basic I can talk about NFTs.
I was just letting him go until he fell apart.
He could go.
made
He
it
could
longer
go
than I
for
thought
longer
he
on
would.
it. He could go for
Huh?
longer on it, but
Oh.
we'd have to do that in another episode.
Let me tell you about your
let me tell you
lazy
about
lions
crypto,
and
bro.
your.
Let me tell you about crypto.
You guys heard about crypto?
Oh.
How are you not invested in the blockchain?
I saw a very good descriptor of there's two types of people that you knew in high school. The popular girls that are in the pyramid scheme clothing lines, and then the dude bros who are trying to sell you crypto. Those are the two types of people that will contact you randomly on Facebook.
God help you if two of those get married.
I am pleased to announce that none of those types of people have ever contacted me that I went to high school with. Because I
Well,
believe
they
them
haven't
alive.
contacted me, but I have been first witness to a dude come into GameStop and pull George aside and just start talking about crypto and NFT. And poor George is just like, kill me. Just end it. Stop it.
I'm surprised he did not set them on fire with a simple glance.
He was listening. I was like, oh, he started dragging him outside. I'm like, he's done. We've lost him. He's dead to us.
I do have a friend though who's super into crypto and NFTs, and it's very annoying.
I can imagine. Well, we got 3 companies here that are diving into NFTs that none of them make any sense, but we're just gonna stab into these here. So Konami, famous for pretty much forgetting they make games anymore, released Castlevania NFTs for the series' 35th anniversary.
Wow.
Which
Trevor
35th anniversary was last year.
Trevor Belmont is just so disappointed in all of them, as is Alucard.
And Sypha's also disappointed.
They're all disappointed.
So they labeled this as a memorial line.
What is the memorial for Konami because they're dead?
Yes,
they're dead.
Agreed.
I'm just saying.
This is actually, I think, worse than them going like, we're going to release a Silent Hill, but it's going to be a pachinko machine. Like, I'd rather have the pachinko machine than an NFT. They did that.
Yeah.
Like, at least Castlevania would be a better pachinko machine.
For sure.
It's more environmentally friendly.
Very true. Very true. And then over GameStop.
Oh yeah, you wanna talk about this one because I can hear you rolling your eyes right now.
GameStop, as much as I love them and they hold a very special place in my heart, and I do not speak for the brand or the company because I will be honest, and I worked for them for a great many years. So
let me have a little asterisk to that. I worked with them as well. The company is stupid as crap. We love the people that work there that we know. The people are great. The company's stupid.
The company used to be smart. It has its smart moments, and then it something
Not
happens.
anymore.
I don't know. I've witnessed many ups and downs with them,
Oh.
and this is weird. They like to play in on fads to hopefully get like media traction, to then get more sales in their stores. So I'm hoping that this is just that, because it does say that their stocks hit a 16%, like took a 16% drop, not a jump. It jumped.
No, it went up 16%.
Investors are all about the like, ooh, crypto and NFT, another way to make money.
I hate this. I hate this so much.
That's even more.
Invest in it.
And they were, but hey, I mean, it's at least they're creating jobs. I don't know what they're gonna get paid if what normal GameStop employees make is any indication. Oh, did I say that out loud?
Sir, would you like we have a card you can get. We also have our phones. We have a credit card. Would you like to buy an NFT with your purchase?
No.
How about some cryptocurrency? Some GameStop coins.
You want some GameStop crypto?
Would you like a warranty with that NFT?
Save 5%.
Your warranty stickers and NFT as well. So you can keep it on the
So-
blockchain.
Oh
But
no.
I'm also going to segue
Tooting.
into this next bit because this, as both of you know, this next company is one of my favorite companies.
Well, I was
Yeah.
part of why I was saving that is because a classic bit between you and I is usually some crap going down about Square.
Yeah, but listen. Okay, so like I love Square, and I will probably love
know.
them until the day I die, and I can truly say that. I don't think the devs are in on the NFT things.
Oh, I doubt it.
No,
I
it's
very much doubt it. But for
all the
whatever
head of the
reason,
companies
their board members are. They've
Yeah.
always been questionable. They've been questionable, and
Board
this
members
sit-
are always questionable. Like all the
Oh.
ones from Nintendo going like, you should stop making games and make cell phone games only.
listen. I entirely
Oh.
blame Wada, the former president of Square, for all of their problems with 15's development and everything, and he was the cause of a lot of problems. So like this is not surprising to me, but I'm just like, oh, come on, Square, you had a good thing going. And I'm just also like seeing Tetsuya Nomura like in the background going, oh my god, geez, what are these people doing? He's like, let me just make my Kingdom Hearts games, please, and just leave me in peace.
No.
Well, somebody mentioned like the Nier DLC and some of the other games where you could fight the CEO
Yeah,
or whatever
fight
of
the
Square.
CEOs.
They're like, was this a warning? Were they trying to tell us something?
Yeah,
Probably.
basically the devs are like, this is what we want to actually do to them, but we can't because we'll get fired. So this
Yeah.
is what we're going to do instead.
We'll have the
So-
players beat them up, and it'll be funny. They'll laugh at it. But I did see a meme of somebody like holding a gun to the back of their own head, like it's like a copied version of themselves, like with the gun. And it's like when you're Square Enix and your Final Fantasy 14 game doesn't have enough servers because of the NFT crypto bros taking all the graphics
Yes.
cards and everything, but you invest in NFTs and it's just like shooting yourself in the back of the
maybe
head.
this is just a sacrifice or something. Like they're
Uh.
trying to appease the NFT and crypto bros so that they can
Who
acquire.
needs to appease them?
Listen,
No
listen.
one.
Maybe the appeasement is how they're going to get more graphics cards and stuff, so they can get more servers and more bandwidth.
Just-
Since I got this new computer, I've played with the idea of playing, critically acclaimed Final Fantasy 14.
with the
Yeah,
the
and-
not free to level 60 thing anymore.
Well,
Yeah.
no, it doesn't. Not even that. You cannot buy and start a new account on that game right now.
No.
They're so tight-lipped, they stopped all sales for it.
Yep.
So
That's just insane, though.
And also, I think it wasn't just like the NFTs and the crypto thing that was the problem. It's that people spend so much time at home and they got all that extra money that everyone just said, I'm going to buy a freaking gaming computer and I'm going to play games. That's what they said. That was part of the problem too. And so what are they going to play? They're going to play a critically acclaimed game that is free to level 60 is what they're going to do. Like I tried to play it, no lie, because I had an account. I tried to play it and it would not let me get back in there. Like it would not let me sign in at all because I had not signed in on so long. And then when I tried to sign in and I got to a point, it wanted me to enter this weird like key into it that is only generated by that little weird keychain that has the button on it that you can get from the Square Enix website. And I was just sitting here going, what the heck? So I tried to call their customer service line and they didn't know what I was talking about. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to let it be and I'll try
that's why
again.
I can't get back into World of Warcraft. And I'm like, you know what? That's now my safety net. It's keeping me from getting back into that. So, because I lost that thing.
I'm just chilling. I'm doing whatever. I think the only online games that I have booted up recently have been Sea of Thieves. I'm trying Neverwinter because it's free. And
I gotta play Sea of Thieves again.
And then Lord of the Rings Online because I was feeling nostalgic.
Wow, I haven't heard about that one in a while.
It's still up and running and actually still very active. There was lots of people in there when I went in there and I was like, oh my God, there's people. There's actually lots of people. Like
people can't play Final Fantasy 14, so they're here.
People are desperate. They're playing Neverwinter. They're playing Lord of the Rings Online. They're playing, not that they're bad games, they're good games. They're playing
classic games.
They're playing RuneScape Classic.
Oh God. Wow. Okay, that's
Listen,
literally
listen.
classic.
No,
No,
listen.
the
There's
RuneScape
people who
scene is
there's
like-
people who stream it. No lie. I
Mhm.
found a few streams on Twitch, and I was like, "Holy shit!" I
They
remember.
are loyal. There's
I
a
believe
loyal
it.
fan base to that game.
People
my
will stream
Blows my
weird
mind.
things.
Like
Take that from the guy that played along with Remy the NRA gun game to see how long we could play it to find a non-white person, and never did.
That
I
was
remember.
That was
I
funny.
remember playing RuneScape in middle school and having to beg my mom to pay $5 a month for the membership so I could actually play more of the game than just that little area. And then fast forward, God, 10 years later, when they did the new RuneScape. And then it's like, oh, you're still confined to this very tiny area. Everything is super complicated and truncated and just weird. And then you have to pay $14.99 a month to get.
Yep.
And I'm just like, it's RuneScape. Why would I pay that much money for that?
It's a pyramid scheme.
Exactly. So
NFTs.
NFT.
So, all right. So NFTs, the biggest issue I have with those, like environmentally, they are just
So
such a
bad.
waste to
They're
run.
so bad.
But they're
for the
also
environment.
like, we're having a shortage on components because of COVID, because a lot of places are production are shutting down and so forth. But
You can't
people
even
are
get
buying.
cars.
Yeah, people
There
are
are no
yeah,
used cars anywhere. Even new cars. There's no cars.
yeah, because some of the chips required for that go on cars that are gone.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't get new graphics cards, which I wasn't going to cover. CES right now is going on. I was getting some of the notes for the next show. I was going to wait because tomorrow's the last day of it and cover everything next time. But Nvidia and AMD like announced some of their new cards, and I'm sitting there laughing to myself, going, "How can you announce new ones when people probably don't even realize they can't even get the current ones?"
The only way that you can get graphics cards right now is if you
Yeah.
buy a pre-built.
Yeah, we talked about this, you and I. I remember.
Because that's how I got my computer. Like, so long story short, back in October, long story short, back in October, I turned on my computer to print out my mom's like car insurance card or something like that while she was down here visiting for a couple of days.
Mhm.
Before, she got super busy. And I literally, no lie, printed it out, went to close everything down, and then brought up another program to adjust something on my computer real quick. And my monitor that is in front of me right now just shut off. Literally, it just, goodbye. It went black. Computer was still on. Other monitor was still kind of on, but I couldn't do anything. Like, it wouldn't let me. And I was like, that's weird. It's not frozen. It just wouldn't let me load anything. And I was like, that's very strange. So I turned off the computer. I had to do like a hard shutdown and then tried to boot it back up. And it would just go, wee, and then go, bleh. And then I was like, oh. And so I did like, I did it where you power cycle it. I power cycled it. I unplugged everything. I plugged it back in. I did everything possible. I called one of my friends who builds computers. I'm like, what else do I need to do? And he's like, well, try this. We did everything. Nothing worked. So I literally, because there was stuff.
Dude, you're getting Adele.
Yeah, well, there is stuff that I do that I have to have my computer for. Like, I couldn't stream. I couldn't do a lot of my really detailed graphic work. I couldn't do anything. So my mom was leaving like a day or two later, and he's like, I'm just going to come down and either help you fix your computer or we'll figure out how to get you a new one. And I was like, okay. And so he came down and he essentially took it apart. And first thing we did was plug in my hard drives to my laptop to see if they'd read. They read fine. Hard drives were perfect. Come to find out, the motherboard, finally, after 7 years, this motherboard was 7 years old. It lived a very good, very long life. It was the Ferrari of motherboards. Like, he was saying you could probably repair it, or you could actually sell this motherboard probably and still get a good amount of money off of it, because even though it's not working, like, it's still got good parts for somebody who might be doing a repair. And I was like, what?
So did your computer just sit there and go like, is this what I've come to? I print insurance paperwork. I'm done.
Basically, basically that's what it did. It just decided I'm done. I die now. And so and and so he comes down and he goes, okay, well, we went around and we were looking at computer parts and at different places like computer stores down here. We went to a place that's essentially advertised themselves as building computers, but they only did it for like businesses. So they didn't have any like gaming stuff. And there was one graphics card in there, but it was like one that was like like maybe 5 or 6 years old. Like it wasn't bad. It just wasn't what I wanted. And like, if now had my computer not died and it was fine, I would have gotten that graphics card, plugged it into mine because I knew it was compatible and been, done into the day. But no, my computer was dead. And so I had to get a new one. So we did some research and research and research and research. And it was like, it's just going to be cheaper to get a pre-built. So I got it. And Newegg.
Old Newegg.
I arranged for it and paid for a specific type of shipping, so I knew what day it would arrive. It then decided it was going to arrive sooner on a day that I was not home. And this, like, computer was, like, very heavy. It's very heavy, and it's got tempered glass on it. So it's very fragile. And so, like, I would have had to go to a UPS box to pick it up from if they couldn't deliver it to my house because it required a signature. So I had to jump through hoops and ladders and stuff. And I spent like an hour with customer service. And finally, I basically went to borrow a quote from Spaceballs. I went over Newegg's helmet. And went straight, got a hold of the manager for the UPS essentially like distribution center that it was going to be sent from, got a hold of them and called them. And I said, I just want to pick it up from your facility. So you don't have to deliver it tomorrow because I'm not going to be home. I'm going to be at work. And I'm like, I'm just going to pick it up today. I'm coming right now. And he was like, okay. And picked it up. We got it into my car. We got it into my car, and then and he's like, we'll just mark it delivered tomorrow. Like when I get up, I will just mark it as delivered. And I was like, because he was the night manager. So, and I was literally like, bet, dude, I'm all for it. And he's like, yeah, Newegg is an asshole. That's literally what they said. Newegg's are assholes. They don't understand like this kind of stuff. You would think they did because they build computers, but no, they don't. And so now I'm sitting with a really pretty fast computer. Sometimes my TV monitor does weird things where if I turn on YouTube, it'll go black for a second. But I think that's more so the TV than it is the actual computer.
Probably.
Yep. But it's great. It's beautiful.
Working now.
it plays so many beautiful games now that I don't even know what to do with it. So here we are.
It's so pretty.
Did you manage to get the 3 Tomb Raider games that were giving away for free on Epic?
Yes.
No.
I did.
Today might be the last day, but you can get all 3 of the new Tomb Raiders. Was it already gone?
It's gone.
Oh, that sucks. Those are good games. Good way to test out your PC because they're dope. That sucks. Tomb Raider denied.
No,
yeah,
like,
nope.
Yeah. Said mystery games, like, ooh. It's like, here's 3 games. Like, wow, the whole Tomb Raider franchise.
Yeah, I was just like, yes, okay.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, no, it's gone. Oh well.
Yeah.
It's fine.
We tried. All right. Well, so we'll go ahead and move on real quick to our roundtable, which will discuss what we've got going on here. But just want to kind of go around real quick. And Rachel, we'll start with you on this. What games scheduled to, or hopefully at least, coming out this year are you looking forward to?
Okay, so I'm not going to start with the one I'm most excited for.
I thought you were going to scream. I was like, oh no.
No. So there's a game that's out on Steam right now called Edge of Eternity. It was in like alpha and whatever for a while, and
Mhm.
now it's like a full release. It's coming out on Switch in February, so I'm excited for that. But I'm more excited for the PS5 version because I barely have any games on PS5, so I'm always looking for actually like physical release games to play. So it's called Edge of Eternity. It's like an RPG, kind of like Final Fantasy 15. So because it was part of their development scheme was based around they were inspired by that game, I guess. So it's got some
And
elements from it.
you were kind of into Final Fantasy 15.
Oh, that game. That game is still my child. I love it to death. And it is something I stream every now and then, and I need to get back into.
You streamed it, you cosplayed it, you talked about it, yeah.
It is my baby. That game is my baby and will forever be my baby. I'm also excited for Chocobo GP.
That looks fun.
It looks
really
fun.
It did look very fun, actually.
It looks very cute.
Like, oh.
I went, oh, it looks fun and cute. Yay.
It's a Chocobo on skates. You can race that. I was like, yes.
Yep.
Do. Yeah.
I am excited
sure that
also
song's in
for whatever the heck they're going to do for this big Kingdom Hearts anniversary we're celebrating this year.
There's Kingdom Hearts Chain of Re-Memories. Rememorize. Got it memorized? Memorize.
It's going to be Kingdom
I know
Hearts,
they're-
like
I know they're-
NFTs over crypto.
I know they're. Oh no, God!
No!
No, he won't let them. Tetsuya Nomura will not let them.
Oh, Disney will get involved. They'll just
Disney
be like,
will not let them either. No.
Yeah.
Disney barely let Soren smash. See?
But no, I'm excited for whatever the heck they're going to do for that. The only thing that they've announced is that they're going to announce something, and that Dark Road is getting that theater mode. So, which I have to go on my iPad and look into that. So, because none of those stories I really played at all. So, I'm also excited for Breath of the Wild 2, which if you're not, you're a liar.
I'm hoping this is the year. We've only been waiting the past couple of them.
Exactly.
I know, right?
And the thing I'm most excited for is Hogwarts Legacy, because it is the game that I have always wanted since I started playing Harry Potter games on the GameCube when I was like in middle school.
I remember the first news we heard about that. My little friend group on Discord was like, "Oh, everybody go take the quiz! Like, we think this quiz is going to link to the game. It's what's going to determine everything." And I was like, "Okay, guess I'll go and do it." Dude.
Rachel wasn't even part of the group. She just shows up. Hey, they're talking about that. How did you get here?
So I'm pretty sure it's not going to link to. From what I know about Hogwarts Legacy, is it's not going to have any connection with the Wizarding World app or the website at all. Probably, from my understanding, there's not a true sorting ceremony. You just get to choose which house do you want to be in, because I think people would shut off the game and continually reload it until they got the house they wanted.
Oh yeah,
they already know they are, which
I
would do that.
Restarting it like Pokemon.
No,
I got into shiny Hogwarts.
Listen, people are very specific about their Hogwarts houses. If I didn't get Slytherin, I'd probably reset the game until I did. So
I could see
no
that.
lie.
Yeah.
No lie.
Fair enough.
But that's what I'm excited for. What are you guys excited for?
I'll actually go next this time. The first one I had listed was Breath of the Wild 2, because that's just, we've been waiting for it forever.
I need it.
Well, we had that first trailer of them going through the cave, and I was like, "Oh, what's going on?" Then we had the later trailer
where they're in the sky.
Yeah, that was like, I have a feeling they're just gonna be tying so many of these games together.
So many things together.
Dude,
I haven't
it's gonna blow my mind. I
haven't even played the rest of the Hyrule Warriors one that's attached to it. Like, I'm trying, but
it's good. I like it.
It's
really
good,
love
but
it.
they said it's not canon, which is
it's
fine.
Not. Yeah,
I
it's
like
a separate
it.
timeline thing.
I just kind of wish they would hurry up and do like a Switch Pro or something, so we can get that frame rate bumped up a little bit more in it, because it does get kind of broken in that game.
But you could get the OLED version.
I didn't. My eyeballs don't notice that kind of thing. I think it willfully ignores frame rate drops. Really,
I noticed to a point. Just I'm not a frame rate person, but it starts chugging on some of it. I'm like, this could be a bit better. But anyways, the big one I'm waiting for, and this was supposed to be out last year, it got delayed to early this year, Advance Wars 1+2 Boot Camp.
Yeah. That was
I love the Advance Wars series. I've played them all. I love them all. And when I heard Way Forward was making the remake of those games combined together with a great cartoony art style, I was all about that. So I'm just waiting for that's already paid off. Like I have it pre-ordered and paid off. Going like, give it to me.
Just release it. Just give it to me now.
Yeah. Next up was Kirby and the Forgotten Land.
I can't wait. It looks so fun.
Post-apocalyptic cuteness.
I know.
Listen, it's open world Kirby. Like, and speaking of open world, a game that I did not mention that I'm surprised that I don't know if that's not on either of y'all's lists, but the Sonic one.
Oh, Frontiers?
I forgot about that.
Is that coming out this year?
I don't know.
Remember.
I think it's supposed to be this year.
It's supposed to be this year.
Hopefully. We don't know, we hope at least.
This makes me want to play Unleashed again.
As I'll remind people again, Unleashed as well as Generations, if you play it on Xbox Series X, now plays in full 4K at 60 frames.
I might just come to your house just to actually play Unleashed.
I wish.
I'm going to go back and re-record the opening and stuff for him so you can see it. But Kirby and the Forgotten Land, of course, we all remember my daughter Jennifer. She will not stop talking about this game. I had to pre-order her own copy so she would leave me alone. And she still asks me about it because otherwise I'll never get to play it. Splatoon 3 is supposed to be this year. And I have put so much time into Splatoon 2, which we need to get together and play multiplayer, by the way.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've done it, but I would play Splatoon multiplayer in a heartbeat. Because it's fun.
You still got Splatoon 2, Rachel?
I do still have it, but my Wii U is not hooked up.
Splatoon 2, it's a Switch game.
Switch.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, I don't have it.
I'll play Splatoon 1. I'll have to send you a copy.
No, I don't.
I actually have extras. Bought it for the kids. I'll just take theirs and send it to you.
I don't have it on the Switch. I didn't play the first one enough to really appreciate the game, I guess. So here we are.
Enough. The second one was a huge enhancement on that.
It was. Very good.
Leaving Nintendo, going over to the Xbox, Starfield is set to come out this November. We'll see if it actually does it on 11/22/22.
See, I got a little miffed at them because they said when they announced it that it was going to come out on the PlayStation as well, and they were just like, no, because we got bought by Microsoft, so I'm sorry.
Yeah, well,
and I mean, now I have a PC that could arguably handle it,
which is fine with them. I mean, they have no problem if that's what you play it on. Like, you don't pay over $7 billion and just go, we're just going to give the game away.
Yeah. But
because that's the biggest argument with people going like, oh, well, they don't have any exclusives. They don't have any games. Yeah. Like, they got to start somewhere.
Yeah. But I'm just like, oh, that was rude. So, because for me, someone who really loves the lore of Fallout, but does not like the game because post-apocalyptic genre just I don't like to play it. I was excited to play Starfield, so at least I can play it now after paying a good bit of money on this computer. Yay.
Well, that'll probably be how you have to play the next Skyrim or Elder Scrolls game also, because that's also going to be Xbox only.
I probably won't play that.
But it's not post-apocalyptic. It's like way pre-apocalyptic.
It's okay.
I know.
It won't come out anytime soon. You have plenty of time.
My one memory of playing Skyrim is it was like a few days after Christmas, and I remember my friend and basically my brother John came over to my house. We were in high school, and he was like, this was like a day or so after his birthday, and because he comes over to my house with Skyrim. We put it in my PS3 because I had just gotten a PS3 and I didn't have a lot of games to play. And we just sat there and I played it. I was just like, how is this fun? This is weird. I mean, it's cool, but
that version
fun.
Was so broken.
Like and he was like, this is the same person that tried to get me. This is the same person that tried to get me into WoW. And all I did was run around and look at pretty stuff. I didn't really do anything. So.
And the last game I'm looking forward to is Forza Motorsport 7. that's supposed to be coming out for the Series X and Series S this year. Because I've already been playing enough of Forza Horizon 5, but Motorsport's more of the actual track-based, like high detail racing one where you can just really get in the nitty gritty of the cars. This was kind of their answer to Gran Turismo, is where the original series came from. So that's a couple of the games I'm looking forward to this year. Caleb, you want to go ahead and round off this list of what you are looking forward to?
Sure. Well, my hopes and dreams and aspirations for this year come in the form of the Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope. First game was really fun. I really should finish it, and I'm going to finish it this year sometime. And then Slime Rancher 2, if y'all have never played Slime Rancher,
it's so really cute.
Adorable. It's just like adorable and relaxing and nice, and you get to feed the slimes and like slurp up all the poop that they make and sell it for money. Slurp up the poop. Yep.
Slurp up the. Oh god.
Mm-hmm. There's
not
even
slurp,
some
that slurp. Thank God. Slurp of the poop would be just no. Slurp, I guess, is acceptable.
The poop is more like little hard crystal things that they poop out whenever you feed them. But and you can eat some of them as well.
Eat food, crap out diamonds.
Yeah. Eat food, crap out little honey crystals that you could sell for high quantities of money.
What is this, the weird alien from American Dad that like poops out gold or something?
Basically.
Pretty much. Slime Rancher is really fun. I can't wait for the sequel. Also, speaking of sequels, Breath of the Wild 2. Duh. Like, we could talk about ad nauseum with that. I just hope you can actually fly.
Never heard of it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm just excited to learn more about the world and the lore and maybe see everyone's favorite fishy prince. So
I'm pretty sure Scion will make an appearance there. And then, of course, Kirby, Forgotten Land. Always a joy. I wonder if like it's just going to be open world or it gave me Crystal Shard vibes. Not gonna lie. So
I think it's going to have features from Crystal Shards, but they did say it is a full open world game.
Yeah. And then Tiny Tina's Wonderland. There was a DLC on Borderlands 2 that was basically a Dungeons and Dragons style shoot 'em up, and I can't wait because they're basically making an entire game with that in mind, and I can't wait.
Bunkers and badasses, I think is what it was.
It is so funny, and Tina's a really good character, and I hope they do her justice in the new game. And these are my real hopes and real dreams right here. Metroid Prime 4 probably won't happen this year, but at least can just give me a trailer. Just give me a little... Just give me a drop.
Give me a consistent developer.
Just please. Yes. Please stop hiring people.
Honestly,
so
at this
I know
point,
that like.
Honestly, at this point, it's reaching Half-Life levels of
it.
Yeah, but at least got Half-Life Alyx eventually.
Very true.
I mean,
very true.
It might just get delayed till the next console, but just something. Give me something, please. And then, oh boy, this one, Silk Song, Hollow Knight. Silk Song is very quiet, very, very silent for the past 2 years. I want a trailer or something, or at least please just Team Cherry, if you're listening to my plea, please make the suffering end. Please.
Never going to do it.
Play it so bad. Hollow Knight was so good, and Silk Song looks even better. I can't wait.
Lord. All right, so I think that's a good point to wrap this up on the sadful tears of Caleb wishing for the game that may never happen.
We're not gonna say what we got for Christmas.
Oh, that was for another show. Sorry.
Shame.
I wanted to show off my
cool keyboard.
Well, we can do a quick roundabout. What's your favorite thing you got for Christmas? We'll have a double round table.
I'll be right
starting
back.
off 2022 with 2 round tables.
Yeah.
So for those listening and not watching this over at youtube.com/ZenspathCom, What are you showing there, Rachel?
I'm showing a Corsair keyboard that my friend William got for me for Christmas because that was the friend who came down to help me with my computer. When I got my
Wait,
computer,
Rachel?
Oh my god!
A Corsair keyboard. I've had this
Yes.
one for a while,
So-
though.
Oh,
It's
of
really
course,
good.
their keyboard. Me too.
Yeah. So the funny thing is that like the keyboard and mouse that my computer came with, you couldn't set it up to do different colors, but you could set up the RGB inside the tower to do different colors. So
Mhm.
he got me a keyboard to match. The keyboard matches now my colors inside
Nice.
my tower. So that was cool.
Caleb, what about you? What you get to show off here?
Well, I was trying to zip this up, but it's not working. Hold on.
For those listening, that was not as dirty as it sounded.
He's zipping up a hoodie. It's got some kind of image on the
Zip-
front.
I guess we should have
I'm
explained a little more.
assuming it's Metroid related.
Oh yeah. Oh wow.
Look
Oh,
at
this
it.
is very cool.
So cool. I love it.
That's a lot of Metroid.
It is. It's amazing. And also, that was actually from my in-laws, funnily enough. They actually get me a lot of Metroid-related things. And I'm like, how did you even find this? I don't even know.
A mystery.
And then, I'm not sure if you guys can see it, but maybe the people with the video at home can see my Digivice with the Digimon that maybe you can or cannot see, but there we go. That's better.
Okay. I thought it was a Fitbit. That's actually a Digimon?
It's a Fitbit.
Okay.
It's a Fitbit that comes with the Digimon inside.
I'm a sucker. I fell for that one. I thought he was telling the truth.
So okay, let me explain this.
Digital monsters, Digimon are the champions.
Either in 2020 or 2020, early 2021, they came out with these. They're called Vital bracelets, and you can get little cards, these little DIM cards that you can hook up and insert Digimon in here, which can also be transferred to your phone via an app. And it's like a workout app as well. You get like little missions, like do this many push-ups or something like that. It's really fun.
Okay, I'm not
really
gonna lie,
cool.
that's kind of cool.
It is really
You
cool.
can get them on eBay for about $65.
Until the next chip shortage, and then they'll be like 700.
And well, some of the cheapest one, like you can get for 65. Some of them some of them are like 300 or something, depending on which one it is. And then the DIM cards are going for like $250. So that's it's cool.
There are stores that sell them for cheaper. But my wife actually got this off of eBay.
They'll become hard to find as soon as someone figures out how to mine crypto with them.
Oh no. Pretty much. It's really fun.
Bandai does have their official one that they get.
Yep.
Oh Lord.
And everything's pretty much in English, and the app is downloadable in English as well, so you can pretty much understand everything. The only thing is you just can't read the names on here of the Digimon themselves because it's in kanji, and you can't read that. So otherwise, everything else is in English. But it's really fun. I've really enjoyed it, and it's made me motivated to walk. And
oh, good.
And Dana also got me Assassin's Creed Valhalla as well, so that's exciting.
Cool.
I wanted to try that. I haven't played it yet. So Amanda bought me a record player. Actually, I got a who made this one? Audio Technica. It's actually quite a nice record player because I'm rebuilding my family's record cabinet that we've had since the late 1960s. So I've been working on that, and then she also got me some Star Trek Discovery, like the whole line of the ships, because I'm just a big old nerd.
You big
she
nerd.
loves me.
Yeah, you big old nerd.
You nerd.
I got the Discovery, and I got the Shinzo, and I got a bunch of the ships. It's great. I love those things. Eagle Moss.
Anytime someone says Shinzo, I think of that one weird anime series that was on Jetix that like nobody remembers but me.
Bet.
Just look up Shinzo anime. Just when you get a second.
Yeah, we'll do it after the show. Not now.
I'm doing it now. What you mean?
So
well, fine. All right. Yeah. Well, we'll go ahead and start wrapping up the show. So we'll start off since Caleb is busy researching something. Rachel, do you want to let us know where we can find you on the internet? Anything you want to plug or where we can find you?
Like I said earlier in the show, you can find me on my Twitch channel, which is, twitch.tv/. out, O-U-T, Rachus, R-A-C-H-E-O-U-S. You can also find me on Twitter under the same username, outrageous, but there's a underscore between out and Rachus. And same place on Instagram. I'm not very as active on Instagram right now because that's where most of my cosplay stuff lives. But occasionally I do post there when I am streaming on Twitch. So yeah, and that's what I do. I post a lot of the graphic design stuff that I do too there.
Doggy.
And yeah, but that's where you can find me. And my dog came to see me because she heard me talking and knew I was ending the show. So she wanted to come and say hello.
Hello. I heard your ending, so it's my turn for attention. Yes.
Yeah, this is
Nice.
Suki.
Also, for those wondering, Rachel was also the one that did the artwork for the show, our actual newer logo that we've had. So thank you again for that.
Oh, you're welcome.
But I paid for it, so yeah, yay.
Yeah.
Hey, I like it. So there you go. Caleb, where can we find you on the internet?
Well, you can find me in a couple places. On Twitter, if you just look up at StrangelyInt, that's me. I think it's capital S, capital E.
It is.
Or StrangelyInt or something like that. And then you can also find me on YouTube if you just look up Strangely Entertaining. That's one word. And then YouTube will ask you, are you sure? And you say yes, and I'll be the first thing that shows up. And I usually stream on Twitch, and that's twitch.tv / Strangely Entertaining, where I'll stream either on Tuesday or Thursday at between 7 and 9, but my life is crazy, so I haven't done it in a while. That's
all
it.
Right. And I've been your host, Jeremy Powers. You can find me over on Twitter at Zenspath, Zenspath. You can find my stuff over on Instagram, which is usually toy photography and some other video game photography I've been doing as well, over at Zenspath.com. And then over on twitch.tv / Zenspath.com whenever I'm streaming on occasion. Or actually, no, I'm sorry, twitch.tv / Zenspath. And it's youtube.com / Zenspath.com, where I put the Twitch streams up afterwards. We have the video version of this podcast. So if you have listened to it and wondered, what do these weirdos look like? You can go find out.
Come look at my Metroid
watching
jacket.
This and go, I don't want to see these guys. I want to hear them. You can find us over on iTunes, Google Play Music, or I guess now it's just Google Podcasts or whatever they do, Stitcher, Spotify. And then I do a video series on YouTube called Moving Forward, but it's forward like the preface of a book, where I record the openings of games and all the little hidden stuff in that and post those. So
it's really good
episode, huh?
It's really good. I've seen a couple of them. So
I know you like the Metroid ones.
Yeah.
I think I have some of the Kingdom Hearts ones too, so that'll make Rachel happy. That was creepy.
I love
Kingdom
episode
Hearts. 57 of the Zenspath 4-Button Podcast, and we are out.
Bye.
Peace.